right, roll it.
It's like a movie. It's a B-movie show.
It's showtime. Bronson.
Guns make you nervous?
Death Wish.
Hello and welcome to Season 2 of the B-Movie Rollout, a place where we take a look at cheesy, low-budget action movies from the 1980s and remember why we left them there in the first place. Season 2 will open with Death Wish 5, The Face of Death. You know, I haven't even started the review and I'm annoyed. Death Wish 5 has the word death in the title twice, for God's sakes. Anyway, in my Death Wish 4 review, I said pretty much all I could about the series. Death Wish 1 was a controversial and authentically good movie. But then Canon got a hold of the film rights and added a weird soundtrack from Jimmy Page, and within 2 movies, it ballooned into Charles Bronson running around the streets of New York, firing a .357 Browning machine gun from the hip. Death Wish 4 was typical Canon schlock, so it seemed that the series was out of steam. And it was. But that didn't stop them from dragging Bronson out to do another one. When Death Wish 1 was released, Charles Bronson was in his 50s, and his age was noticeable then. So let's take a look at how he looked literally 20 years later in Death Wish 5, The Face of Death. Roll it. Naturally, the film opens with a scene in a nursing home. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'll try not to make too many Charles Bronson is old jokes. The opening credits roll to ominous music, implying that this movie will involve the mob. We then awkwardly cut to a fashion show being attended by our hero, Paul Kersey. Backstage, the villain of the piece, Tommy O'Shea, is harassing one of the designers.
I see Chelsea's here.
This is not the time.
That's my daughter, sitting with a geek.
She's not your daughter anymore. A judge took her away from you, remember?
Yeah, I know his Elton John look isn't the most intimidating, but O'Shea turns out to be one of the better elements of this film. Some clunky exposition tells us that O'Shea is the ex-husband of the fashion designer Olivia, and she is now dating Paul Kersey. O'Shea is using Olivia's fashion company to launder money, and when Kersey finds out that O'Shea was harassing Olivia, he goes to confront him.
Is this him?
You got a problem?
Guns make you nervous?
Guns have their uses. Idiots with guns make me nervous.
Kersey sees how dangerous O'Shea is, so he meets with the DA to see if anything can be done. Why bother? This is a Death Wish movie. If this series has a thesis, it's that the law does not work. We then cut to Kersey proposing to Olivia without actually proposing.
Bet it's beautiful. It is. I can't tell you what this means to me and Chelsea. She so needs a father.
Can I take that to mean a yes?
Only Bronson can get away with simply telling a woman that they will be married. I'm not asking. Olivia then notices O'Shea entering the restaurant, so she runs off to the bathroom. Little does she know that O'Shea has sent an assassin dressed in drag to attack her. He brutally smashes her face into the mirror, threatening to do worse if she testifies against O'Shea. We now have the plot of the movie. Kersey must strike at O'Shea to protect Olivia and her young daughter. Kersey returns to his home to gather his arsenal. Unfortunately, his arsenal consists of one snub-nosed revolver. That's right, this is a Death Wish sequel with no this.
Fires a .475 Wildy Magnum. Real stopping power.
No this. And definitely no this.
I warned you! I tell you!
Then we get the obligatory vigilanteism is cool monologue.
You're not thinking of going back to your old ways, are you?
Is that such a bad idea?
Let the cops take these guys down. You know, sometimes the law works.
And sometimes it doesn't. You know, these people, they steal, they murder, destroy people's lives, and get away with it. They have alibis, money, lawyers, power. They have everything. Tell me something. How long have you been trying to take these guys down?
16 years. These guys are pros. I mean, it's not like some gang of doped-out muggers.
16 years. Oh, it's a long time to be failing.
Oh, wow. Now that is a shot. But I have to bring something up here. Schlockmaster's Golan Globus purchased Cannon Films in 1979 and acquired the film rights to Death Wish shortly thereafter. In 1995, Death Wish 5 was being released on home video. That means that the Death Wish sequels have been in production in some form or another from about 1979 to 1995, which is the span of about 16 years.
16 years? Oh, it's a long time to be failing.
Despite her face trauma, Olivia stays determined to testify, so Tommy O'Shea sends the same assassin to kill her. Nice plan. But wait, is that Seth Meyers?
How rude.
It isn't, but damn if it doesn't look like him. Kersey naturally recognizes him and tells Olivia to make a run for it, but they manage to kill her regardless. Kersey escapes, but O'Shea is not done. He then moves to take custody of his daughter, who Kersey vowed to protect if Olivia was killed.
He has the legal rights. I apologize, sir.
Read it and weep. She's coming with me.
Like hell she is.
Kersey then goes on the offensive. His first strike is killing one of O'Shea's henchmen with a poisoned cannoli.
You got a problem?
Ugh. We then find out that one of the DAs is actually working for O'Shea, but Kersey's on his next mission, to kill the Seth Meyers assassin, with a remote-controlled soccer ball.
Hey, Freddie. I'm going to take care of your dandruff problem for you.
Oh, what the fuck, movie? A remote-controlled soccer ball? Think about that. Do those things even exist? That's not the point. This is a Death Wish movie. I want to see this. Not this. The DA that's working for O'Shea catches up to Kersey, and with a scene that reminds me of Death Wish 4, he blows his opportunity.
I didn't think it would be this easy, Kersey.
I can make this scene really painful.
Neither did I. So can I.
When you have to shoot, shoot, don't talk.
O'Shea arranges to set a trap for Kersey in the warehouse of Olivia's fashion business. But just before that, we get my personal favorite scene of the movie, when O'Shea's girlfriend brings him some cannolis for a snack.
Well, there she is. Poor, sweet, dim-witted Max. Our resident retard. What? Chicky choked to death on a cannoli. Do you not remember? You had a brain, you would take it out and play with it.
Kersey falls for O'Shea's trap, but he catches on quick. He knocks out O'Shea's thugs by shooting one, electrocuting another, and mummifying a third in saran wrap. Unbelievable. I guess you could say it's all wrapped up. Kersey kills O'Shea's last henchman by shooting him into a shredder.
You wouldn't shoot an unarmed man, would you? Would you? Kersey?
Finally, a kill that feels like it belongs in a Death Wish sequel. Unfortunately, the moment doesn't last when Kersey confronts O'Shea.
Wait! Listen. Whatever you want, whatever you need.
I don't need anything. But you need a bath.
Just what the hell is a vat of acid doing in a fashion designer's warehouse in the first place? And just like in Death Wish 3 and 4, Kersey is allowed to leave the scene of the crime by a sympathetic cop, bringing a rather abrupt end to the movie and the series.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Hey, Lieutenant, if you need any help, give me a call.
Death Wish 5 really wanted to be an authentic crime drama about the mob, and unlike the 3 films before it, Death Wish 5 took itself quite seriously, which is the film's downfall. Death Wish 2, 3, and 4 are extremely over-the-top action schlock, and they're fun. Death Wish 5 is not. The setting, the plot, and the music all represent a major change in style for the Death Wish series. And that's not something you want to do to a series 5 movies in. But perhaps Death Wish 5 is attempting to recapture the dark and rather serious tone of the first one. Well, it doesn't, because Death Wish 1, to its credit, has a message, and a rather controversial one at that. Death Wish 5 has no message. It just rehashes the law doesn't work thing that had become quite boring at this point.
Sometimes it doesn't.
And then there's that stupid scene with the remote-controlled soccer ball. It's as if this movie couldn't decide if it was serious or camp, and frankly, it fails at both. The only redeeming aspect of this film is Tommy O'Shea, as he is obviously having some fun with that character. Even so, he doesn't come close to matching the ridiculousness level of villains like the Giggler, or the Reverse Mohawk Guy, or Mr. I Warned You, that defined the earlier Death Wish sequels. And Bronson's kills in this movie aren't even in the same league as the raw viciousness of something like this.
You believe in Jesus? Yes, sir. Well, you're going to meet him.
Ultimately, Death Wish 5 is a letdown on all fronts. And it's a shame that it would be the final cinematic appearance of the character Paul Kersey and the actor Charles Bronson.
Tonight, we review an aging Charles Bronson in Death Wish 9.
I wish I was dead. Hey.
Look at you. You look like a beached whale.
Mr. O'Shea.
Alf, tried to warn you, didn't I? You wouldn't listen. Just acting, Albert. Relax.
But in all seriousness,
My God,
that's gross. Big tub of guts.